What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Dominate the Books. I'm your host, Keith. My water at. And For the first time, we're going to just run through every game on the schedule this weekend. The 1 p.m. games, the 4 p.m. games, Sunday night game, and both Monday night games. We got another double header on Monday night. So I'm just going to run through every game, give you my opinion on who I think is going to win, cover the spread, probably take a look at over and unders on a couple games. Let me turn this music down. And see what we can come up with. See if we can win us some Monday this weekend. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, before we get into it, thanks again always for tuning in. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. You know, if you agree with the picks, disagree, tell me why. I mean, if you got a compelling argument, I might say, hey, you know what, you're right. I do like your pick better than mine. I think I'm going to bet the way you're going to bet. So just give me some feedback down in the comments. But let's go ahead and get it going. First game, we got the Broncos visiting the New York Jets. Jets are favored in this game by 7.5 points. Over under is 39.5 at the time of this recording. Anytime I see a 7.5 spread on the game, I feel like, I'm getting set up for the okie doke. Like, we're going to get caught on that hook. I know the Jets were favored by 7.5 last week against the Patriots, but they blew them out the water. And the Broncos surprisingly beat the Bucks down in Tampa. I'm still going to take the Jets here. They're at home. The Broncos are still one of the worst teams in the league. They got a rookie quarterback, and they still got Sean Payton as their coach. And I'm thinking Aaron Rodgers, of course, the more he plays with his receivers, the more chemistry they're going to build. And as soon as him and Garrett Wilson gets on the same page, I think they're going to fly. So we're going to take I'm taking the Jets here to cover the 7.5 point spread. Next game, we got the Vikings visiting the Packers. And both of these teams have been playing surprisingly well so far. The Vikings are undefeated. They're coming off a win last week. Who did they play last week? That wasn't San Fran. I don't know. I forgot who they played last week, but I know they're undefeated. The Packers are 2-1 without Jordan Love. Malik Willis has played a lot better than I expected, and my boy Sam Arnold has been looking like Joe Montana out there so far. I read earlier that Love has been practicing on a limited basis, so I'd be really surprised if he played. But I would be really surprised if Malik Willis played well again in this game. He's going against Brian Flores, one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. Also, Aaron Jones, the running back formerly of the Packers, is now with the Vikings. So he's going to be going back to Green Bay. Anytime a player plays his ex-team, he's going to come in with that chip on his shoulder. So Packers -3 in this game. I'm going to go ahead and take the Vikings plus the points. Give me the Vikings. I think Malik Willis struggles in this game. We can see if Sam Arnold keeps the momentum going. I'm rolling with the Vikings plus the 3. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints visiting the Atlanta Falcons. It's also a 1 p.m. game. At the time of this recording, the Falcons are favored by 1.5. This is another division game, just like the previous game, rivalry game. Both of these quarterbacks, you just never know what you're going to get. Kirk Cousins, he's always up and down. Same with Derek Carr. Both teams are coming off losses. The Falcons losing to the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, and the Saints lost to the Eagles. I'm going to roll with the Saints in this one. Their defense has been playing pretty well, giving up less than 15 points a game so far, and they have the more explosive players. I did read though that both Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara were a little banged up, and they're going to be listed as questionable. I would be surprised if they didn't play. So give me the points, and I'll take them on the money line as well. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Tampa Bay Bucks and my man Baker Mayfield. It's kind of a revenge game here. If you guys remember, the Bucks knocked the Eagles out in the playoffs last year. Bucks coming off a tough loss, like I just said, to the Broncos, and the Eagles got the bounce back win against the Saints. Both teams are pretty banged up here as well. I know AJ Brown is still out, and Evans and Godwin. I'm sorry, got banged up in the game last week as well. This actually got the feels of a ugly game, a low scoring game, probably like a defensive game, and a lot of Saquon Barkley. I can see Baker throwing a couple interceptions here. So give me the Eagles on the road to cover that 1.5 spread. I'll take the Eagles. Next one, we got the Cincinnati Bengals visiting the Carolina Panthers. At the time of this recording, the Panthers are getting 4.5 home underdog. I know the Bengals start off slower every year, but this year kind of feels different. I don't know what's going on with the Bengals. I don't know if it's the blonde hair that Joe Burrow has, or Jamar Chase upset about the contract that he hasn't got yet. I know T. Higgins missed the first 2 games with a hamstring injury, I believe, but I know he was going through some contract negotiations in the offseason as well that didn't go his way. Bengals, they played well against the Chiefs. They actually probably should have won that game, but not so much against the Patriots in the first game and the Commanders last week. I don't even think Washington punted 1 time in that game. The Panthers, they benched Bryce Young and they put in Andy Dalton. They got their first win of the year last week. And guys also remember Andy Dalton used to play for the Bengals. That was the team that drafted him. He played, I want to say about 10 years, 8 to 10 years with the Bengals. So this is another chip on the shoulder ex-player game. I think the Bengals are probably going to win this game outright, but I'm going to take the Panthers in the 4.5. Give me the points. I'll take the Panthers plus 4.5. Bengals on the money line. Next game, we got the terrible Jacksonville Jaguars going up against my man C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. Time of this recording, the Texans are favored by 6.5 points. Over under on this one is 45.5. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm taking the Texans here to cover that 6.5. The Jags stink. They actually might be the worst team in the league. In my opinion, I'm not a big fan of Trevor Lawrence. He's one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the league. The Texans are coming off a loss to the Vikings. That's who the Vikings beat last week. The Titans or the Texans. I can see C.J. Young having a big game and blowing out the Jags just like the Bills did the other night. So give me the Texans here minus the 6.5. Next game, we got the Steelers going against the Colts. This is another game that kind of feels like a rug pull. I think most people are going to be rolling with the Steelers here, but I think their undefeated season comes to an end. Both teams have young quarterbacks that like to run and make plays out of the pockets, but I'm expecting a big game from Jonathan Taylor. Some player props I would look at probably in this game would be, the under on passing yards for Fields and probably the over on his rushing yards. I hate betting against Mike Tomlin, even though I hate the Steelers as a Browns fan. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Colts as the home underdog. Give me the 1.5, and I'm going to roll with the Colts here. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Rams against another one of my favorite teams, the Chicago Bears. They haven't been doing so well. They're actually the favorite in this game. We got an over-under at 40.5 points at the time of this recording. Like I said, Caleb Williams and the Bears are one of my favorite teams that I'm rooting for. I want to just see them do well. And they have a lot of good players with, um, what's my man named? Keenan Allen coming over from the Chargers. They got DeAndre Swift in the backfield, DJ Moore. I think they'll eventually put everything together and get on the road here, but so far, I just don't see it. The Rams are actually coming off of a surprising comeback win against the 49ers. I wasn't even watching that game. I turned from it because the 49ers were up, I want to say about 2 touchdowns, 17 points, something like that. And I was watching another game, and they went to a game break, and they were giving like a victory speech in the locker room. I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? So they came back in that game and beat the 49ers. I'm going to take the Rams to keep the momentum going here. Like I said, I just don't see it with the Bears. I don't see them beating the Rams in this game. I think too much Matt Stafford, too much Sean McVay in this one. I'll take the points and the Rams in this one. Next game, one of the games I'm looking forward to watching here. We got the Washington Commanders on the road facing Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals at the time of this recording. The Cardinals are favorite, 3.5 points. 50.5 points is the over under on this game. This is the first of the 4 o'clock games. I think this is going to be a exciting, fun game with a lot of big plays and points. I like both QBs, but honestly, after watching that game between the Commanders and the Bengals, I think I might have a new favorite player. Jaden Daniels is someone that I kind of slept on coming out of the draft, but he looks like the truth so far. I like how he was poised, calm, and under control in that last game against the Bengals, which is rare for a rookie quarterback. I like what I see. That being said, I'm taking the Cardinals to bounce back after losing to the Lions. I'm staying away from the spread, though. I just don't trust them that much. But give me the Cardinals on the money line here to beat the Commanders. But I want to take the Commanders in the points, but I can see the Cardinals maybe beating them by a touchdown in this game here. I don't know if I want to trust the rookie to go on the road in 2 games back to back and get another dub. So give me the Cardinals. Next game, we got the Patriots against the 49ers. Patriots at the time of this recording is a 10.5 point favorite. Over under on this game is 40.5. Not going to overthink this one either. I know the 49ers are banged up. Debo, Christian McCaffrey are both out, and I believe Kittle might be out for this game as well. But just like the Jags, the Patriots stink. They look horrible against the Jets. I know 10.5 is a big number, but the Patriots are just that bad. I'm going to go ahead and roll with the 49ers in this one, minus the 10.5. Next game is my Cleveland Browns against the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't even want to bet on this game. I wish I was in Vegas right now. Even if I was, I probably even wouldn't want to go see this game. Raiders are 1.5 point favorites at the time of this recording. Over under is 37.5. For the Browns, no Njoku, no Jed Wills, no Jack Conklin. Myles Garrett is beat up. Of course, we still don't have Nick Chubb yet. Also seen on Twitter, I believe Max Crosby and Devontae Adams are both out for this game. If you guys want to just double check on online just to make sure, but I'm sure I read somewhere that they're both going to be out for this game as well. Well, both teams think, my Browns, they can't run, they can't block. Defense doesn't look as good as it did last year so far this season. I like Stefanski, but I just don't know if his system fits Deshaun Watson in the way he plays. Um, I don't know. I'm not betting on this game because if I do, I know I'm going to be betting with my heart. with my heart, excuse me. So give me the under in this game. I'm going to take the under 37 and a half. I can see this game being like 17-10. One team up 13-10. Somebody throws a pick six. Choose whichever team that you want. And, the final score is something like 17-10 or 17-13. But give me the under on this game. This is one I'm going to just stay away from. Next game, Chiefs and the Chargers. Time of this recording, the Chargers are getting 7 points as a home underdog. Over under on this game is 39.5 points. Let me get some water here. This game has also another rug pull feel to it, like that Steelers and the Colts game. Chiefs are coming off a win on Sunday Night Football against the Falcons, and the Chargers off a loss against the Steelers on the road last week. I know Herbert is still a little banged up. He's battling a high ankle sprain, and he's been limited in his practice this week as well. This just feels like one of those games that I think the Chiefs are going to win, but it's going to be like by a field goal. So give me the Chargers as the home underdog plus that 7 points. Maybe my man Kelsey shows up this week. It just seems like, I don't want to blame it on Taylor Swift, but ever since he started dealing with her, he's just been going down, down, down. So another thing you could probably look at too, and I'm going to mention this in my next video, my player prop video. I'm going to take his under on everything until he proves me different. I've been betting on him every week. He hasn't scored a touchdown. He doesn't go over yards. I've even been taking him at alternate lines, like 40 yards. He's not even hitting that. So that's another thing that you guys probably want to check out as well. But give me the Chargers plus the 7 points on this one. Next game, another good game here, Sunday Night Football. We got the Bills visiting the Ravens. Baltimore, 2.5-point favorites. The over-under on this one is 46.5 points. The Bills look like the best team in the league so far this year. They're 3-0 coming off a blowout against the Jags, and the Ravens got their first win of the season. Beating the Cowboys on the road. They tried to let them sneak back in the end, but they pretty much dominated that game. Sorry, Doug. This feels like a game, though, where bad Josh Allen shows up. Every time, or it is at least once or twice a year, he has a "What the F are you doing?" game, and I think that's going to be one of those games where he throws a couple interceptions, missing open receivers. And I think that's what is going to happen here. Also think we get another big game from Lamar and Derrick Henry after coming off that big win in Dallas. They're going to be happy to be back home. So give me the Ravens to cover that 2.5 point spread here. That line is probably going to move a little bit, but at the time of this recording, 2.5. Even if it goes up to 3.5, I still like the Ravens by a touchdown in this game. All right, then we got two bums here with the Titans and the Dolphins on the first game on Monday night. At the time of this recording, the Dolphins are favored by 1.5 points. Over under on this one is 36.5, and I can say right now I'm probably going to definitely be looking at that under. I was going to pass on this game altogether until I found out Soup Huntley, formerly of the Ravens, and more recently with my Cleveland Browns. I think we got rid of him after preseason. I still don't know who the hell Skylar Thompson is, so that's one of the reasons I was going to pass on this game. But if the Dolphins start Snoop Huntley, which from what I've been reading, it looks like they are, give me the Dolphins minus the 1.5 in this game. Still probably going to be looking at the under. Will Levis is just trash. I think I took them last week against the Packers and seen he threw a pick six, and he's just all over the place. So I'm just going to be staying away from the Titans moving forward. If by some chance the Dolphins do start Skylar Thompson, then I'm just going to stay away from betting on this game as far as the point spread or the money line, and I'm just going to take the under 36.5. And then the final game, we got another good game. We got the undefeated Seahawks visiting the Detroit Lions. Detroit is favored by 3.5 points in this one. Over under at the time of this recording is 46.5 points. I like the Seahawks. They're a solid team, and it's pretty cool, honestly, to see Geno Smith resurrect his career last year and get that big contract. That being said, though, I like the Lions in this game. It's Monday Night Football. They're at home. Crowd is going to be crazy in Detroit. Um, I think big games here from Gibbs, from Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm sure they're all going to want to show up and play well on Monday night after not doing so well in that first primetime game they had this season. So give me the Lions to cover the 3.5. I can see them winning this probably by a touchdown as well. But that covers all the games that we have on the slate for this week. Like I said, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Definitely leave me some comments on this one. It's the first time I went through every NFL game. Be more than happy to know your guys' thoughts. I'll edit nothing. Excuse me. Yana here. But next video will be my player props video. So until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.